Welcome viewers to this program Agree Disagree on CCR TV. Today we are going to discuss agree, disagree, and probably draw up the plan forward or what should be Goa's plan forward on a topic that has been in discussion over the last few weeks. Mhadei, Mhadei or Mandovi, whatever you call it. With us in the studio, we have four very knowledgeable people on this particular issue, from different walks of life. I will start from the right. We have with us former minister, former politician, and current activist on the Mhadei issue who heads the Mhadei Bachao Abhiyan, Madam Nirmala Sawant. To her left is a representative of the organization that has been formed recently after the DPRs of Karnataka were approved, Save Mhadei, Save Goa Front, Professor Prajal Sakadande. To my left is a senior colleague of mine, Derek Almeida, who's been an editor and a senior journalist with almost every media organization in Goa, Derek Almeida. And another well-known green activist from Margao, from Purtori actually, Abhijit Prabhudesai. As we speak today, as they say, a lot of water has flown down Mandovi into the Arabian Sea, right from the source in Karnataka and the 80 odd kilometers it traverses on this earth into the Arabian Sea. But the issue at hand right now is the threat or the claimed threat to the river itself, to the supporting ecology, and per se the entire environment of Goa, from the plan of Karnataka to divert what they have been permitted by the award of the Mhadei Water Dispute Tribunal, the 3.9 thousand million cubic feet of water from the Mhadei basin into the Malaprabha basin. The threat is imminent, more so now after, I think it was on the 29th of December that the Central Water Commission approved the detailed project reports of the Karnataka government, of the Karnataka irrigation project, of building mini dams at Kalasa. I think that is to divert 1.7 odd TMC, 1.72 TMC, and another mini dam at Bandura to divert 2.12 TMC feet of water.
About 2.8.
So together, the Kalasa Bandura projects will divert 3.9 TMC, which by the way has been permitted under the tribunal award of August 14, 2018. I would first start with Madam Nirmala to just give us a background of how you got involved with this Mhadei issue. As we know, this Mhadei issue dates back to the 70s. May not be the Kalasa Bandura issue per se, but this whole, utilization of Mhadei waters by Karnataka goes back to the early 70s when they first attempted or wanted to divert water at Dudsal for a hydroelectric project there. But your involvement with Mhadei issue came up somewhere in the 90s.
Yes,
right?
96.
96, 97. So I would want you to just give us a background of how this whole issue started and how you got involved in this whole matter.
Actually, I was Congress president then. So I received a letter from ex-MLA from Khanapur, Mr. V.Y. Chauhan. He wrote a letter to me and to the Chief Minister that Karnataka government is trying to divert the water. As a result, Khanapur will have no water. At the same time, Goa also will have a problem. I had read about my geography knowledge was not sufficient to understand, but I had read more about it, and I was very much interested to know more what is going to happen. So, with the help of a friend of mine, was my classmate for post graduation. His name is Arun Sardesai. He was an advocate. I went to meet V.Y. Chauhan. And V.Y. Chauhan told me in detail how it is going to affect Kankumbi Taluka as well as Goa as the 50% of Goa. Because of that, I had meetings and like-minded people came together. Rajendra was very much aware of this. Another person was Tendulkar, Sadanand Tendulkar, was quite involved. And Prajal was there, Avinash Bhosle, all these people came together, Nandakumar Kamath, Gopinath Gavas, then Prakash Pariyekar. Yeah. Apart from that, the people across the line, they were interested to know what is going to happen. But we decided to form a small committee because bigger the committee is, more problem it comes to. In the problem started or the movement started in 96, 97, but later on, they were making noise but had not taken any action. In 2002, Parrikar as a chief minister took all party delegation to Vajpayee, then prime minister. MPs were there. Chief minister, he was chief minister, then environment minister and other MPs. And I was present there as a Congress president. All the party presidents also were there. I knew that the people do not have knowledge in depth, so the responsibility lies in me. So I made a thorough study of the problem, and it was presented. Only 2 minutes were given to each, but I was fast enough to tell everything that I knew, because on my presentation will have effect on the prime minister, because it will come from the heart and it will come with details. Unfortunately, the effort made by Parrikar gave fruit. He kept the project on hold. But in 2006, they laid the foundation stone on 2nd October. The moment they laid the stone on 2nd October, actually we wanted to go to the court. We had decided, the committee was of the opinion to go to the court. But I said the blame will lie on us. Because if something goes wrong, and it's a matter of Supreme Court. So we didn't go to the court. The government in 2006 or 16 November approached the court. The moment they went to the court, we also planned to go to the court, but the water is a state subject. We cannot touch it. We went on the line of environment. And on the environment line, we said they are going to destroy the Western Ghat. The endemic species are there. There no water, and the people have lots of problem. And we approached the court. But the advocate, our lawyer, Gandis, was really interested in the problem, and because of that he took a lot of interest. and the things went ahead. And first of all, the problem was whether we are what the decision court is going to take. They were under the impression it is not going to hold any substance, and the case will be thrown out. But our first victory was that it was Chief Justice Balakrishnan and these people decided to carry on to entertain the case. And I'll tell later on after let us see what the government has done.
So now that matter has gone far ahead from 2006 onwards, because in 2012 the government of India decided to refer this matter to a dispute, to an interstate dispute.
Before that, good incident took place that it was a World Heritage Site. It was declared in 2012. After 2007, in 2010, government decided to withdraw the case and refer it to the
Tribunal.
It was a wrong step. It was a wrong step. Because if it had gone to the Supreme Court, it would have been either on this side and on that side, and tribunal would have come as a result. But if we had to win, there was nothing like it.
Yes.
So that was the first mistake. And we cannot discuss anything about water. We can only discuss about sanctuaries, water, wildlife, and flora and fauna.
But when the all-party delegation went to Delhi in 2002 and the matter was kept on hold,
Yeah.
after returning to Goa, immediately thereafter, the official reference to the center to form a tribunal was made by Parrikar's government in 2002 itself. That is what the record of the tribunal shows.
Yeah.
The original reference to the center by the state to constitute a interstate tribunal was done in 2002.
The case should not have been withdrawn. Case should not have been withdrawn. We should have waited for the result. As it is, it would have gone to the tribunal, and we should have had some patience.
Okay, now that the tribunal was formed, all three states put up their respective stands on the particular matter of sharing water or finding out what is the available water and what is the share of each state. That was all discussed. It took 6 years, from 2013 right up to 2018. And finally the verdict was given. The tribunal gave its award. And Karnataka has been permitted in that award to divert this 3.9 TMC. Now the issue is how this issue has now cropped up again from January onwards is the fact that Karnataka presented a revised DPR, the two revised DPRs, and they got clearance. Now the clearance very clearly says, the CWC clearance clearly quotes that it is based on the tribunal award. Now if there is a tribunal award, on what basis are we objecting to the DPR today?
The scientific study was not made. So other day I welcome, when Mr. Yadav said, Honorable Minister said that he is going to make a scientific study, I said yes. If they make scientific study, it's a victory for us because they cannot divert the water out of the basin. First is that. Secondly, it is World Heritage Site, and he is the Minister for Environment and Climate Change. He is a very responsible person. And the government then was lackadaisical or was not very strong enough to put my case forward. If they had to tell the court or the tribunal that such a order exists, tribunal would not have touched Bandura because they have already started the work at Kalsa. Bandura is even today is untouched. It's because of this order. The order is given to Mhadei. Bachao Abhiyan is like this. Learned Council for the state of Karnataka says that no construction is going on So ground reality is different from what is told in the core. In the area in question, that is Kalsa Bandura project, and that no construction will be carried out. In view of this, nothing further survives in this application which are disposed of accepting the statement of Learned Council for the state of Karnataka. So they cannot do the work at Bandura. So 2.18 from Bandura they cannot avail.
But this order is subsequent to the tribunal.
No, this is 2017.
2017. So 17th August.
Tribunal is 1 year later.
August.
So does the tribunal award does not override this Supreme
Yes,
Court? It
yes.
overrides, right?
No. Supreme Court is the supreme authority. So whatever tribunal has said, if it goes to the Supreme Court, they have to rethink.
Coming back to the issue now, as of today, I will now bring in Prajal. The news that the CWC has approved the 2 DPRs for Kalasa and Bandura came out somewhere on the 30th of December.
29th.
29th it was approved.
Yes.
And it came out in the
Came out
open
on
on the
30th.
next day.
Yes.
So, what is it that ignited you to raise the bar in the public domain, knowing that the tribunal has permitted Karnataka in the 2018 award to divert this to 3.9 TMC of water, and it specifies, the tribunal award also specifies that it is at Kalasa and Bandura where they will be permitted to divert.
Actually, Madam Nirmala Sawant had started this Abhiyan, Mhadei Bachao Abhiyan, means the registration, everything was done by 1998. And she had taken us on an inspection and she showed us the 7 sites where the dams would come, and we were shocked. But that time there was no construction, nothing. Then Mhadei Bachao Abhiyan had a huge systematic campaign. We used to have meetings, press conferences, a lot of awareness campaigns and all this. She has spent her own money, time, energy, which I think people may not know, that I am a witness to that. Now, what happened was, it was going on. So the case was going strong in the Supreme Court, and we had a fantastic counsel in the form of Gadnis. We must appreciate. Yeah. We must also appreciate Justice Lokur, Madan Lokur, and Deepak Gupta, who have given this, order. Thanks a lot to them. Now, so in December, last December, the news came that a fresh detailed report project has been prepared by Karnataka government and submitted to the Central Water Resource Ministry. And it has been approved. The worst part was it has been approved. Now what that DPR says, that DPR is now stepping inside Goa and they want to construct a dam on Surla river, meaning now Kalsa and Bhanuta, these are the 2 tributaries of Mhadei. Now Mhadei enters Goa through Surla village in the northeastern corner of Goa, that is Sattari Taluka, and they want to build a dam there. So now they have gone a step further. And one more thing I want to clarify is, Water Dispute Tribunal had said about sharing. This is talking about diversion. There are 2 different things. Diversion is taking the course of the river which naturally enters Goa to the Malaprabha basin. Sharing is sharing. The quantum was decided by this. So that is what ignited us under the auspices of the Save Mhadei, Save Goa Front, which was founded by Mahesh Mamre and Advocate Radhanath Shirodkar in 2019, and we had a big andolan on the streets on November 1st, 2019, blocking the roads and all that. So once again we decided that it's time we have to come out on the street and make it a people's agitation. So that is what triggered the...
But let me correct you with the fact.
Yeah.
The fact is that 3.9 for diversion is permitted by the award.
Yes,
it is not sharing.
yes.
It is for diversion. And it is for drinking purpose.
Yes.
Now this drinking purpose is another very significant point that I would like to debate, but I will move on to Derek. Derek, what do you see of this latest flare-up? Is there an element of politics in it? Is there a factual strength to the arguments being made right now? And what do you see this whole controversy moving towards?
I won't say much about the organization started by them or by Madam Savant, because they've been doing work for a very long time, very long time. As far as political parties goes, I think each political party, whether it's ruling or whether it is opposition or whatever, small, big, everything, are just jumping over one another, trying to save the Mhadei when it has already been saved by the tribunal. It's already been saved by the tribunal. I'll explain this why. And they are just the political parties. Their aim is the next Lok Sabha elections. They are not interested in Mhadei. They are exploiting Mhadei more than Karnataka and Maharashtra at this point of time. Now, why do I say that the tribunal has saved Mhadei? The total amount of water in the Mhadei has been put at 188 TMC. 4 TMC has gone to Karnataka. About 1.33 TMC has gone to Maharashtra. That constitutes 3% of the water. 97% of the water is coming back to Goa. So how is the Mhadei going to die? You tell me. This is one issue. The second thing is,
I'll bring you in.
as far as sharing, the tribunal did not share the water. They said we are not going to share this water because none of the states went to the tribunal with any studies. We did not even have a study of what is the environment flow required in the Mhadei. Even that was not present, so the tribunal went along with the 2015 guidelines set by the centre. There is absolutely no study, not from our side, not from Karnataka, and not from Karnataka had the worst. The tribunal slammed Karnataka, since you are talking about drinking water. They said, you have no business to come and take water from the Mhadei for drinking purposes and say it's the topmost priority according to the water policy of India. Because when you divided water from the Malaprabha, you gave the least amount of water to
Drinking.
to Dharwad and Hubli. And in Dharwad and Hubli, they admitted that 40% of the water just leaks into the ground. So they said, you reset your DPR for Malaprabha and give them that water. They're saying, no, we can't do that because the farmers are fighting and they're blowing up pipeline. So that's not our problem. That is your problem. You sort it out. You don't take water from here. They slammed everybody. But because most slamming went to Karnataka, not Goa. Goa's only problem was we didn't have a study on almost nothing. Nothing was properly presented. So they did not share the water, because they could not come to a conclusion and say like the way Kaveri has been shared. Kaveri 740 TMC has been shared between the states, and for environment they've left only 10 TMC. Here there was no sharing. They said, okay, we will decide how much surplus water there is at Bandura, how much surplus water there is at Khalsa, and from there we'll decide how much you can take. Don't tell us there's excess water in Goa and all that. Is not your problem. So that is how that water was given to them on humanitarian grounds, not a share. And this thing about we don't want water to go from one basin to the other, I mean, I think it's very hypocritical on the part of Goa, because we are taking water from Tilari Basin. It's coming into the Mhadei Basin. So our stand, Goa's stand when we went to tribunal was very
Vague.
But besides that, despite all that, the legal team did a very good job, because in the end, you've only given away 3% of the water. 97% of the water comes to Goa.
Will I?
I will ask Nirmala to interject on the point she is objecting to what Derek has said.
So there is 188 or 193 or whatever it is, the water, TMC water in the Mhadei Basin. But the Goa government has failed to measure the water in monsoon. This is monsoon river. Mhadei is monsoon river,
It's a
rain-fed river.
Rain-fed.
So they have not made the calculations in winter season and summer season. Summer season it is dry. I had been to Sattari just to observe how from where the river comes. And when I went there, I found the farmers are those Puran Sheti. They are doing this rice cultivation there. in the river basin itself. So that is misled. The government has not made the study. Secondly, whatever may be the stand of Mhadei River Tribunal, the problem is you cannot take the water from one basin to the other basin.
No.
Trans basin is
No.
not permitted.
It is permitted. If you
Okay.
read
Even
the Godavari, the other tribunal reports, they say transfer of water from one basin to the other is legally permitted in India.
But this is not. This is rain-fed river. Only if you say if that stand is there, they can take the water only in the rainy season, not otherwise. When I am telling you, in summer season it is almost dry. Then from where they are going to get the water? Secondly, I will show this map. Here is Benihalla River. Here is Dharwad, which is 40 or 48 kilometers from Dharwad. They can take the water from here. Why are they taking the water 100 kilometers from Goa when they can take from 48
Benihalla.
kilometers? And this river is filled with garbage, full of garbage. It in the rainy season it floods, and the people are to be relocated, and they are hungry, and the pictures are there. They are given food, and rehabilitation is done afterwards. They can just clean the river and take the water from there. They need not take the water from Mhadei. And they say, you are allowing the water to go to
the sea.
the sea. What about the environment? What about the fish which is there? The type of the plants we have? Then the salinity problem.
And in fact, that environmentalist, as architect, Madam Elsa Fernandez, she was telling us that this water is required, this fresh water supply is required to keep the salinity at bay. And how she explained the entire ecosystem. It was really appalling that we don't even.
What Madam Sawant is saying about that
Benihalla.
Benihalla.
is absolutely correct. This was pointed out by the tribunal. It says, why did you take? There are two nallas actually, not one.
Yeah.
Two of them. It says, have you done a study to take water from there to the Arwar and Hubli? And Karnataka said, no, we have not done a study. Then they said, you redo your DPR from Malaprabha and take out water from there for Hubli and the Arwar. So they have not permitted water for Hubli and the Arwar. If you read the order, they have not permitted to Supa. What they permitted is only that water for, they said, finally Karnataka has failed.
Supa is Kali Dadi.
Yeah,
Kali.
Karnataka, these are the wordings of the tribunal. Karnataka has come to the tribunal with unclean hands. But we as a tribunal, we cannot overlook the needs of farmers and of people, and that's why we are permitting this diversion of this. This is the stand of the tribunal.
I will now bring in Abhijit on the environmental aspects. Like Madam Nirmala just pointed out, what about the environment?
I fully agree with what Madam सांगता पळय ते एकदम खरें आसा कित्याक पळयात आमकां सगळ्यांक खबर आसा एप्रील मे म्हयन्यांत गोंयांत कितें जाता तें सत्तरी आनी मुखार सगळे फोंड्या बिचोली सगळ्याक हें उदक साये उदक पावता हे जे 4 TMC आसा पळय हे 4 TMC बंद केले जाल्यार सबंद सत्तरी आनी म्हादेई जे टायगर रिजर्व आसा जे गव्हर्मेंट मान्य करपाक तयार ना पूण ह्या वाठारांत जे पळय निसर्गाचे जे आसा ते सगळे सोंपतले ते आसपाचें ना सो फंडामेंटली हे करूंकूच जायना पूण आमचें कशें आसा आमी अभ्यास करता मॅडमीनी म्हणला पयलीं अभ्यास करूंक जाय आनी अभ्यास जो आमी केला तो आमकां वेगळेंच दाखयता डेरिक सरान म्हणला की तांणी म्हणलें की यू हॅव कम वीथ अनक्लीन हँड्स पूण कितले अनक्लीन ते म्हाका दिसता ट्रायब्युनलाक खबर आहा आनी हांगा आमचो गव्हर्मेंट चुकता की आमी खरें कितें आहा तें आमी ट्रायब्युनला मुखार दवरूंक पावले ना अजून रिव्यू घालपा जाता फॅक्ट्स आर व्हेरी क्लियर फ्रॉम तुमी सागरमाला पयली प्रोग्राम पळयात 2016 MPTचो फायनल जो प्लॅन आसा तातूंत कितें दाखयतात ते की ही सेम मलप्रभा जी रिवर बेसीन आसा थंय स्टील कॉरिडॉर येवपाचो आसा. स्टील पावर सिमेंट बेलगांव, हुबली, धारवाड, तुझे गदग, बगलकोट सगळे कडेन आनी मुखार तुमचे बेलारी, कोपाल सगळे कडेन कितले व्हडले गोंयच्यान 130 मिलियन टन्स कोळसो व्हरून सोदतात. आख्खे इंडिये 700 मिलियन टन कोळसो हे जाता गोंयच्यान ऑस्ट्रेलियाच्यान हाडून अडानीची नवीन मायन हांगच्यान व्हरतले कोळसो व्हरतले. पूण कोळसो खंय वापरतात पळय थंय उदक जाय. कोळसो तूं लासयता म्हणजे भरपूर उदक जाय. स्टिलाक कितले जाय 40 क्युबिक मीटर पर टन, पावराक कितले जाय 3 क्युबिक मीटर पर किलोवॉटा, तुका सिमेंटाक कितले जाय. हे उदक येतले खंयच्यान. जे कर्नाटकाचे शेतकाराचे हाल जाल्यात आनी लोकांचे हाका ही इंडस्ट्रियल पॉलिसी रिस्पॉन्सिबल आसा तांचे उदक व्हरपाक. सो फंडामेंटली तुमी जेन्ना हो मास्टर प्लॅन जो आसा हाजो सागरमाला हो तुमी पळयता जो आमचो सीएम आयज अनफॉर्च्युनेटली पुश करूं सोदता. इट इज वंडरफूल म्हणटा. तो कितें म्हणटा वाचून सांगता तुमकां. In MPT hinterland, MOUs are signed for many coal-based power plants and coking plants. Most are expected to be completed in the next 5 to 10 years. Okay? Both public and private sectors have huge investment plans for steel plants as well as coal-based power plants. We have identified multiple plants in the pipeline at Bellary, Hospet, Belgaum, Hubli, Dharwad, Kutki, Solapur, Bijapur, Gulbarg, Vijayanagar, Raichur, Saglekade. आणि त्यांची लिस्ट दिल्यार they need. From the list, you can see 137 million tons of coal, and the map which shows where they are coming is exactly Malaprabha River basin. So, we must एक आम्ही समजूंक जाय सरकार केन्नाय शेतकारा खातीर कांय करना. सरकार गरीब लोकां खातीर केन्नाय कांय करना. सरकार व्हडले इंडस्ट्रियलिस्टा लागून झगडपा तयार आसा.
कॉर्पोरेट्स.
सो हो सेंट्रल गव्हर्नमेंटाचो हो प्रोग्राम आनी स्टेट गव्हर्नमेंटाचे पळयात. स्टेट गव्हर्नमेंटाचो वेबसायट कितें सांगता. आयर्न एंड स्टील इंडस्ट्री इन कर्नाटका, दी स्टेट गव्हर्नमेंट वेबसायट ऑफ कर्नाटका. कितें म्हणटा तो की पेज नंबर 5 डॉक्युमेंटाचे सांगता द स्टेट गव्हर्नमेंट हॅज प्लॅन्ड अ स्टील कॉरिडॉर ऑफ 300 किलोमीटर लेंथ to boost the iron and steel industry in the state. The corridor is proposed to be located around the Hospet Bellary area. This area is known to be rich in iron. Steel zone will cover districts like Bagalkot, Gadag, Koppal, Haveri, Raichur and Bellary. So, हांकां उदक खंयच्यान येतलें. ही वेवस्था ते आतां करपाक सोदतात. सगळे वाटेच्यान उदक खंयच्यान मेळटलें फॉर देअर मास्टर्स. एंड ऑल आय हॅव टू से इज दॅट हे तिनूय गव्हर्नमेंट हे इंडस्ट्रियलिस्टाचे गुलाम जाल्ले आसा. हांकां उदकाची मातशी सुद्दां पर्वा ना. गोंयचे सरकाराचे तुमी पॉलिसीज आनी जे मिनिस्ट्रीक लेटर बरयता ते वाचले जाल्यार हांकां उदकां शेतकार आनी कांयच नाका. फक्त शिमीट आनी फक्त कन्स्ट्रक्शन आनी कांयच नाका. सगळे सरकार ह्या वाटेन आसा. हांची हांव एकूच म्हणटा लोकां कडेन हेंच मागता की हांची गुलामी आमी बंद करूंक जाय. हांचे चेन्स आसा ते मोडपाक आमी सगळ्यांनी उठूंकू पडटा. ना जाल्यार मुखार उदक आसपाचें ना. आमी मरतले आनी कर्नाटकाचे लोक मरतले. कर्नाटकाचे लोक आमचे शेतकार आमचे दुस्मान न्ही. हे व्हडले कॉर्पोरेट्स अडानी, जिंदल, वेदांता असले कंपनीज आमचे मेळून दुस्मान. तांकांय काबार करतात आनी आमकांय काबार करतात. आनी कोळशा विरुद्ध झगडटात तांकांय हांव सांगूं सोदतां की म्हादेचें उदक गेलें जाल्यार कोळसो आनी वतलो. म्हादे हाडवपाक जाय आनी सोंपें म्हळ्यार कोळसोय हाडय जाल्यार सगळो प्रॉब्लेम सॉल्व जातलो. म्हाका दिसता मेळून आमी हें करूंक जाय. आनी हे आमचे गोंयकाराचे हातीन आसा. कोण म्हणटा गव्हर्नमेंट कोण. ही लोकशाही. लोकांक जाय तें जातलें. फक्त आमी सगळ्यांनी दोळे उक्ते करूंक जाय. खरें कितें आहा तें सोदून काडून आमी मुखार सरूंक जाय. आनी हे पळय जे भंय घातला आमच्या काळजांत तो सगळो भायर मारपाक जाय. कसली भिरांत ना. आमी सगळे मेळून करुया प्लीज. सगळ्यांनी भायर सरूंक जाय.
Okay, so now I will just recap in a way what all the members of the panel have kind of thrown light on this whole Mhadei issue. As Nirmala madam has said, the diversion of the 3.9 from interbasin diversion has to be objected to and fought for. Apart from all the arguments made during the proceedings of the tribunal of Karnataka claiming that Goa is wasting water by letting it flow into the Arabian Sea, and all that apart, what Madam Sawant is saying is that the whole environmental aspect of the Western Ghats and the entire basin of the Mhadei River has to be taken into account while we object to the diversion of the 3.9 TMC water from the Mhadei basin into the Malaprabha basin. uh, Professor Sakadande gave us an idea of how he, saw that this whole plan of Karnataka to divert the or to utilize water of Mhadei at their upstream areas, which he visited back in 2006, 2007, along with the Mhadei Bachao Abhiyan delegation or team that went there and did a site inspection and saw the 6 or 7 sites where the Karnataka government wanted to build their dams for diversion of the water. Derek, in a way, seems to be saying that the tribunal, with its award, has already saved Mhadei. And Abhijit has brought a completely new dimension to the
Yes.
whole debate with his claim that while on paper and on record, the diversion of 3.9 TMC may be for drinking water, he seems to believe that this is to cater to the massive industrialization or steel and cement industry plans in the Malaprabha basin, right?
Yes.
So that is what our panel today has encompassed the whole Mhadei issue as. Here on, we will shift the debate a little bit of what is the position right now of the issue and how it is going to move forward. As far as Goa is concerned, not just Goa, all the 3 riparian states have challenged the tribunal board in the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court yesterday took cognizance of the intervention application of Goa and issued notice to Karnataka. Yeah, yesterday they have taken. Yes. Yesterday it was called
Yeah.
out and Karnataka has been issued notice. Yesterday.
Yeah.
Karnataka has been issued notice. So Goa is making basically in this most recent intervention application, Goa has made 2 pleas. One is to stay any work on the site from by Karnataka at the 2
Yes.
Bandura and Kalasa. That is one application. And another plea that Goa has made is to stay or reject or reverse the approval of the DPRs. These are the two issues that are going to be argued. They say it will come up on the February 13th. Tentatively, that is how the digital board of the Supreme Court is showing. But I don't know because now that Karnataka has been issued the notice, they will reply and they will come back to the court. So I'm not sure whether it will be heard on the 13th per se. Now this is one aspect. That is the legal battle that we are fighting, and it is the most appropriate forum, the Supreme Court.
Yes, yes,
There's
yes.
no other.
Absolutely.
There's no other appropriate
Yes,
forums.
yes.
Now let us see the on the political platform or on the social platform and the whole in the public domain how this issue is playing out. Right now, yesterday we had the first preliminary sitting of the House committee that has now been
Yes,
formed.
good.
Okay. Now, I don't see from all my journalistic experience of covering legislative affairs in Goa, I don't see much strength in the House committee in the sense that whatever report it comes out with, it is not binding on anybody, number one. It is not a judicial report.
Yes.
No.
Okay. Whether the government will accept what the House committee is saying or not is another debate altogether and another issue that will come up as and when the House committee will come up with its report. But a few issues that have come up in yesterday's preliminary meeting of the House Committee, where they kind of laid down a blueprint of how they're going to go forward, of coming up with this whole probably a direction for the government of what direction it should take on this fight with Karnataka over the Mhadei River. One aspect was that that we should strengthen Goa's case on the environmental front. Okay, that I don't know. I think it was Wenzi Vegas of ARP who came up with this proposal that it's a proposal that has been on the back burner of declaring a tiger reserve in the Mhadei sanctuary. If I remember properly, when the sanctuary was itself notified in '99, one of the reasons cited was the presence of the tiger, and that there was a missing link in that whole tiger corridor of Bhimgad and which connects to
Yes.
Maharashtra. So that Goa part, there was no protection other than the Forest Act. There was no protection other than the Forest Act. Therefore, before you directly make it a tiger reserve, you first have to make it a wildlife sanctuary. So that is how that wildlife sanctuary was notified, or the grounds to notify that wildlife sanctuary were created. I think it was Richard D'Souza who was the conservator of forest, and fortunately Goa was under president's rule at that time, and you did not face the political resistance to declaring it a wildlife sanctuary, because General Jacob in one shot,
Archana Singh also.
yeah, and General Jacob in one shot notified it one day before the results of the assembly election. That was one issue that came up. Second issue that came up was the legal aspect. In yesterday's House Committee sitting, we fortunately have a former Advocate General in that committee, Carlos Ferreira, who brought out this thing of natural injustice towards Goa in this particular DPR's case. The fact that the Central Water Commission approved the DPRs even without consulting Goa.
They have approved DPR on the condition that they take all clearances. So we have got hope.
Yes.
They should not be given clearances.
Yes.
And the environment minister says so. So it is
Especially forest clearance, they should not.
Yeah, and actually, for us, in the case, it was said, the project is in highly eco-sensitive Western Ghat. That is the report given to Secretary of Central Empower Committee. Western Ghat area, and also considering the magnitude of the project, it is recommended that the Honorable Court may consider the Environment and Forest
Wildlife Protection Act.
Then Karnataka says the Karnataka Forest Department, the forest offences cases have been booked by the Forest Department for violation of the provisions of the Karnataka Forest Act. They also are accepting there is violation. So actually we are on the sound footing, but only there should be will that we are missing.
Will from the government side?
Will from the government side. It is our report, no? So we are trying to approach the court for contempt. If they put a stone, we will go for contempt, Mhadei Bachao Abhiyan. And we are also going to, we have also have the case for caveat. They want to revise the order given. They ask for revision, then they ask for modification, they are asking for a second revision. Before they are going to ask for the second revision, we are going to file the caveat. So it's not that easy on this ground, on the environment ground. We are very happy, and I'll be very happy to get these papers to send to my lawyer.
Sure.
Yes.
One more issue that I want debated here in this thing is, what is the value or strength of making this agitation on the street in Goa?
The mother gives the food or milk to the baby when she cries. So we have to cry aloud so that it is heard the center.
Very good.
But
I
there
feel
are
peop-
but there are also sons of the mother crying on that side.
They are not just.
They are louder.
No, they may be louder. They may be louder, but natural justice has to prevail. The mother doesn't give the child the food if she knows that she has given the fed her half an hour back. So they will understand.
I feel, actually that this whole Goa's approach of, approaching this whole problem to the environment is a bit of a problem. Okay, yes, as far as this permission, see the tribunal has asked Karnataka to go back to the center and seek fresh DPRs for Kalsa and Bandura, and that's what happened.
Which they did.
But they said you need to get all
All
the
the
other
other
clearances.
permissions, yeah.
Okay, so that is where she says there is some fight. That's very true. But as far as environment is concerned, it's not right on top on the agenda. If you look at the water policy of India, first is drinking, irrigation, livestock, and I think the environment is number 5. Now the tribunal was guided not just by the water policy; they are also guided by Helsinki rules, Berlin rules. What do they state? First claim on water is drinking. Okay. And the first
This
claim
is
how
on
much
sugar,
water?
yeah.
The
It is
first-
sugar
the
plantation
first,
lobby
the first
is acting-
claim on water is for human beings.
Yes, how much water is needed for Hubli, Karnataka, Dharwad?
The second
But
claim
we
on-
need for
The
6
Harwad-
talukas of Goa.
The Dharwad?
We need drinking water for 6 talukas
Hubli.
of Goa.
This is
Does
the point.
not-
See, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Now he says Goa had to put up a case saying we
Yes.
require X amount of water.
Yes.
Water
So Goa
deficit
went-
state. Goa is a water. Yeah.
Goa went to the tribunal and said we have 59 projects. They could not give the names of those 59
Yeah,
projects.
that's what. There is no will
In
on the part of
24
the government.
projects, they could not give the location of the
Yes.
project. They had created DPRs not according to central guidelines. So they could not say how much water exactly was required for each of those projects. And the tribunal said, okay, forget it now, all these things. We will give you 24 TMC. Goa is going to draw out 24 TMC plus present 9 TMC that is already drawing. And then the question was asked, have you done a study to find out what will happen to salinity, navigation, environment when you draw 24 plus 9 TMC? And the answer was no.
I'll tell you.
We do
So-
not get water in the Khandepar in the summer season.
Which is required for the OPA
Or
plant.
the OPA plant.
No, humanitarian grounds.
Yeah.
What about our humanitarian grounds for 6 talukas of Goa? They only need for Dharwad. We need for 6 talukas of Goa.
The problem here is, see, Mhadei is an interstate river,
Yes.
and on the record we are today interstate water dispute. The Mhadei tribunal still exists.
Yes.
It's not
Yeah.
with
It's
the
not
award,
there.
it's still there.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Number 2, from the 3 states that are involved in this particular Mhadei basin, Goa is downstream. So what Goa does with its water, the other 2 are not bothered.
Yes.
Goa is downstream. Whatever you do with Mhadei in Goa is not going to affect the Mhadei in Karnataka
Exactly.
nor in Maharashtra.
But actually,
But
It is going
the
to
flip
affect.
side,
Yes.
what they do affects us.
Yes.
Right.
That is-
Exactly.
that
This
is
is
why
the
the
point.
problem.
This is the point.
And Derek, as far as that environment aspect of yours is concerned, I agree it is not a priority for, especially in developing countries.
no, actually, no.
One.
No.
Second,
No.
second, the environmental aspect in this particular case takes a little bit of a different angle for the simple reason that it is a wildlife sanctuary.
What I'm saying now actually is this environment thing that I'm talking about is not something only restricted to India. These are the international rules.
Yes, yes.
International agreements, India is a
Yeah.
part of it. And the basic rule is when a river crosses 2 boundaries, it belongs to the world, to humanity, and both have to to decide.
But
I mean,
humanity,
we have.
what about our humanity?
So-
No, we can give them water.
We are,
But how much water do Hubli and Dharwad
yes,
need?
that is the
Not
question.
three- to-
What
to
about the
point-
6 talukas of Goa?
They are
Not
only
2.18.
they've only given 4 TMC. What is
They
the
don't need 4 TMC. 4 TMC means it's a big river like. They
No,
don't need
madam,
so much.
We have 188 TMC.
But that's the
Yeah,
whole
but
of the
monsoon-
Mhadei direct.
No, 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 no,
Rain-fed.
no, no,
No, it's
no, no,
utilizable.
no,
Utilizable.
No, no,
It
no,
is
utilizable,
rain-fed.
but not this nala.
The-
This nala is not 188 TMC.
188
See,
TMC is
Kalsa,
the entire
Bangalore
Mhadei.
are not
It is
188.
rain-fed.
No.
It
They are
is in
much
rainy
lesser.
season.
Yes.
So you
No.
take 4 from there, you are drying up the
No.
whole
Yeah,
nala in the
not
summer.
with
No,
rainy
no, no, no.
season.
No, madam,
No, no.
see, the entire
Rain-fed
catchment area
river.
of Karnataka contributes 32 TMC to the river flow of 188.
But not for diversion. What we say.
And they are taking out 4 TMC. So
But it
28 is coming to Goa
but
from
it is
Karnataka.
like the hen giving the golden eggs. Once the trees are cut
Yes.
on the Western Ghat, there will be no rain. And if there is no rain, there
It's
will
a
be no
spiraling
water
impact.
either
It's,
for
of course.
Karnataka,
It's
Maharashtra
rain, yes.
or Goa. Actually, myself and Rajendra Kirkar, we went to Maharashtra government. Nimbalkar was water resource minister. And what we told him, whatever water you get from the tribunal, we will give the water back from Tilari to you. You don't build you don't construct the project here. If they give 1 TMC, you take from Tilari itself. So the trees will remain, the environment will be protected. You will get the amount that you are supposed to get, and Goa government also would have been very happy. We did ask Goa government first. We went to there first. If they were ready, we would have started their talks in between. So we are not denying their share. But we have to think of environment first. Otherwise, it will be very difficult for us to survive. Because another 25 years, I think because of hunger and thirst, 50% of the population of the world will die. So bad is the situation.
The
because
Third
of
World
climate
War
change.
itself will be because of water.
So coming back to this whole Mhadei battle in the courts. Now the immediate dispute is over the DPRs. On a scale of 1 to 10, what is your observation? Will we succeed in getting the DPRs cancelled? As the battle stands today.
I do not know fully, I've not read fully DPR, but I'm telling you that if government studies the environmental aspect and the consequences, the salinity, then the catchment area, the rain-fed area, the river, what is the water is there in the river in monsoon and in summer season, and the other aspect that up to Ganje, it is saline water. Then we ourselves we do not get water in monsoon in summer season. All these aspects are brought to the notice of Supreme Court. Then I think Karnataka will have to wind up DPR.
Yes.
But madam, these issues have been discussed in
And
the
the award, yes.
tribunal.
Everything has come before the
Everything has
tribunal.
come on record, including
No, we have got
I
to
was
August.
surprised.
We have got to August.
I have
August 23 till that we can do something.
Yeah, but I am surprised that the tribunal in its proceedings has even considered
Mm.
the rainfall records from 1901.
Rainfall records.
See the rainfall
What is
records.
what is in summer season? What is in winter season? Because my lawyer was telling me that he was member of Kaveri Commission that we had calculation 3 times in a year. What is the water content in the summer season, winter season, and rainy season? This nothing is done here. So the government has to do the homework.
Absolutely.
Can I add to this?
Yes.
Yeah, please.
The first point that the tribunal took out was how much water is there in the river. So Maharashtra made its presentation, brought its experts, made its presentation. Karnataka brought experts, made their presentation, and we in Goa took our experts and we made a presentation. And everybody's is based on rainfall data and all that. Karnataka and Maharashtra said there's about 206 to 208 TMC. Our fellow says there's 154 to 156 TMC. Okay. You know what the tribunal said? He says, you guys are experts. You are supposed to come up. Why is there so much of variance between what you are saying? And you know what the tribunal said? You guys are paid experts.
Yes, correct.
Each state is paying you money for your work, and so you have tailored your
Reports.
reports to
according
suit the state. So they said, now discard all that. We are going to make our own study, and that's how they came up with 188 TMC.
But the fundamental thing is that the government has failed to do so many things.
Yes.
It's become very clear from what is spoken. If you look at it, the first question, if somebody wants to take my water, I need to find out who wants my water. Have they done a study? They have not. It'd be very clear. 30 years ago, it was a sugarcane lobby which was in power. They wanted it. Today, it's a steel law and coal lobby. So the government has not even stated this. Has not even found it out. So see how much we are, gone backwards. We are actually in a very in a situation where there is no science. Madam is speaking about so many things. You go to the villages in Sattari, go along the Mhadei banks, and you'll understand it's very simple. That if you remove 4 TMC from this water flow, you
Yes.
go there in month of May and you see there's no water. The entire thing will collapse. The entire biodiversity
Yes.
of the Western Ghats is at stake. You
Yes.
cannot mess with the Western Ghats river.
Yes.
For example, they are talking about Western Ghats
It's a
eco-sensitive
dense
areas.
forest. Yeah.
They are saying that the riverine vegetation of the Mhadei is among the most glorious, the most important aspects of the Western Ghats, because
Yes.
of which you have to protect the Western Ghats,
Yeah.
and you're going to destroy that most important.
And
aspect.
why was the
You can't do
inscription of UNESCO's World Heritage
Yes.
not including Goa? It included Maharashtra and Karnataka, but the western side of Goa was not included. Who is responsible for it? And even we went, 99 villages were eco-sensitive to be declared according to Mhadei, but government went and requested center to make it 30.
Yeah.
So that all those things are
So
there.
he's right.
There are
the,
a lot
the,
of
the
things.
government is not actually interested
Yeah,
in water.
and environment.
You can see what they are doing to our plateaus and our water resources within Goa. It
Yeah.
is very clear
Yeah.
that they don't
Sal
have
River
any
is
love
just
for
our
water.
example. Sal
Okay,
River.
so this all has to be seen. But
Yes.
but fundamentally the government has
Yes.
completely failed and has to pull up its socks and do its job.
Yes.
We are running out of time, but one last question to Madam Nirmala. Madam, why is it that this whole Mhadei issue flares up only when there is a political statement? For instance, this latest flare-up is over a statement by Amit Shah being made there, and which contradicts that whole drinking water argument of Karnataka when he says that it will quench the thirst of our farmers. Which means Karnataka has not just drinking water in mind with this 3.9 TMC, but is it lack of awareness among the local population that is, bringing this issue to be raked up only when it comes up in the political arena?
When जेन्ना politically एक politician उलयता तेन्ना आतां हें सोंपलें अशी लोकांची अपेक्षा जाता, feeling जाता. What I feel, I have got faith in judiciary and we will win. Even today I say, we will win because I know everybody has got love for the environment and they want to protect it. Not politicians. And their DPR says, detailed project report says it is for drinking purpose, irrigation and multi-purpose project.
Yeah.
You understand?
So everything.
Multi-purpose project.
It shows everything. Steel,
Very
cement.
obvious.
They should not have said this multi-purpose drinking water, then it is drinking water. Even irrigation they should not have said.
And
But if they
it's
have
very
said-
simple. If they don't have water for drinking, then why are you making policies
Yes.
inviting all the steel industry 300 kilometers?
If you want it,
Why
that's
why
all,
the this
bigger,
this Sagarmala
bigger-
report should be thrown in the bin by the
big-
central government? Why they are not
bigger-
doing it?
it's a-
Because the water is for the steel companies,
Yes.
for their master Adani, Jindal, and
Yes.
Vedanta. It's
It's
for
for
them.
corporates.
It's not
It's
for
for
any
this Adani.
any local.
It's for Adani.
I think the Greens have outnumbered us in this in this panel. I don't have to recap what we have discussed. The discussion has been open. Everyone was given a free hand to talk, and we end this debate and this discussion with the hope that Goa will win.
Yes.
Yes.